How do you do the challenge of working with a smaller team against, a couple of very larger organisations who have got the big teams that you're competing against? So, what are the top tips and lessons and challenges that you use?
Well, it's always an ongoing evolution, that's for sure. Look, one of the attractions to the role of 2degrees is it's the challenger brand, and I think if you're the challenger brand, you actually need to have that insights in place to drive forward and drive the opportunities that you can see, and sort of you're in an offensive strategy against two big players who are in defensive strategy. I think one of the challenges that has sort of been given to me over the last 18 months of being in the role is to, I suppose, take that information and translate it back into the organisation, an organisation that's still in, well, we're 10 years old, we're still very much still in startup mode and still fighting a very good fight. But the problem there is you have a lot of good ideas, but how do you prioritise against those? And one of the things we're trying to do and spend a lot of time on, as just one example, is connecting our operational data, what people are actually doing with our experience data, and out of that we're trying to size the prize of all those ideas that you're sort of taking through. And so that's how we see that we can be a little bit more nimble in the background to take on the big players when and it helps when they're distracted, as may be the case at the moment. So, we're trying to sort of find those sweet spots and build our market share and our opportunities in the areas that maybe have not been looked after by our big competitors. But it's a huge, enjoyable part of the role, but it's also very challenging to sort of fire that one through.
Fantastic. And I guess, as a startup myself that grew bootstrapped organically, it does force you to be very disciplined when you have limited resources to be extremely focused on, where you're going to get impact. But I guess it was really interesting. We spent some time with Google earlier this year, and, I was all excited like a schoolgirl going, well, what are your top challenges? And they said, just not enough people and too much to do. And I'm like, you've got 30,000 data scientists. Tell me that it stops at some stage. And I'm like, well, so how do you choose? And they just said they focus on impact. Everything they do, they write metrics to say what's going to have the most impact, and that's what they do. And I guess as a small organisation, that'll be, a constant way to think about it. Fantastic.